I have decided to read the Goodreads Romantasy Choice Awards this year because I'm obsessed with Romantasy. I'm in my Romantasy journey. As of such, though, Romantasy books tend to be in series. Since I'm also new to my Romantasy journey, I have not necessarily been caught up with many of the popular series that everybody reads, like Zodiac Academy or From Blood and Ash. And so I decided that in order to read the top 10 this year, I have to catch up on the series that I know for sure will be in there. That does mean that there are probably over 40 books that I have to read between now and the middle of November. And I am going to take on that task with a couple of vlogs at a time. Welcome to episode 2 of Rainy Reads All the Romantasy. Here we go. Hey Bookish Babes, and welcome to my book nook. For those that are new around here, my name's Rainy. I read a lot of books, primarily fantasy romance, so if you're interested in that, please like and subscribe to my channel down below. In today's video, we are doing episode 2 of where I read all the Goodreads Romantasy preparations for the Goodreads Romantasy Challenge or Awards, okay? So, we are going to be reading a lot of different books in this. I am going to be using the spinner wheel to choose my reads, except for the first book because I decided that after I had already started it. So, you'll get to at least know the first book that I'm reading, which is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is book number 2 in the From Blood and Ash series, and I need to make a lot of progress on that series in order so I can read the last book in the series coming up. So, I will be starting with that, and then you will see a bunch of other books happening in this video. We'll be talking a lot of things, and yeah, it's just going to be a good, fun time. So with that being said, let's just get into the vloggy vlog.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, so.
Alright, morning friends. We're on my phone because my sister has my camera and borrowed it to go to the pumpkin patch and has not returned it yet, so that's unfortunate. It's Monday morning, and I am 7% into A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which is the second book in From Blood and Ash. I am finally done with my reread of From Blood and Ash, which took 5 million years, and upon my second read, I actually gave it a 4-star. I still loved it, still had a great time with it. I just think that it got a 5-star at the time because it was one of the first fantasy romance books that I had ever read, and I've read better books, but I still really enjoyed it, so I gave it a 4-star. And so this one continues right after, and I can't say a lot about it, but I will say I'm very much enjoying it, and that there are some new characters that were introduced at the end of book 1, like Kieran, who I'm very much here for. And so I'm liking that story, and I'm liking that there's vampires and things in this book. So I'm having a good time, and I'm interested in seeing how this plot develops. And I really do need to get pretty far in this because I need to get to the next book in the series. I need to be whizzing through this because I know that the last book is going to be on the Goodreads choice. So I need to get to stepping. However, I'm having a great time. I'm 7% in, and it's reading pretty quick. So I'm liking my life. But I have to take a break. I need to get ready to teach, which actually we just got an entire thing of ukuleles for my classroom, which is very exciting. And so I need to actually go and tune them. But I don't need to worry about that right now because we're not doing ukuleles until the spring. I do need to start setting up for the winter concert prep, though, because we need to start working on the winter concert. I can't believe I'm saying that when it's not even Halloween yet, but it is what it is. So I'm going to get to work. I will give you another update on this hopefully today. I can read some during lunch. We'll have to see, but I need to get a lot further than I am currently. Hello friends, sorry, my voice is throat. I better not be losing my voice again. I'm just saying, even though it sounds right now like my voice is going away. And I really need it not to because I'm supposed to sing at church on Sunday. But you know what? My voice does what my voice does, and I'm getting frustrated. Anyway, I'm here with a lot of updates. It has been a couple of days since I've given an update. It's been a couple of days for a lot of things. This week was busy. My best friend is moving tomorrow, and so I've been spending a lot of time with her, and I can't think about it a lot right now because I'm very sad. I have cried a lot over the last couple of days because I get it, it's not like the end of the world, but she's moving across the United States, and she's my best friend. So it's been really hard, honestly. It's hard to make friends when you're an adult and you have children. So I'm just why? But it's hard. Anyway, let's talk first about books that I have acquired over the last couple of days. And then we will give a big bad update for A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. Because no, I am not finished yet, but I'm 80% in, okay? So we have some updates to make. Now, I did go to a library sale in between when I've seen you and when I haven't, but there are way too many books that I acquired. And so that will have to be its own little like end of year book haul type situation. However, there are books on my desk that I'm more than welcome to share with you. So the first thing is more for my Christian girlies because I'm actually doing a Bible study group about being a gospel mom. And so I got this devotional called Gospel Mom, How to Make Biblical Decisions and Discover the God Mom created you to be. And then there's a workbook that goes with it. So I'm doing that because I wanted to meet more moms, honestly, because it's really hard when you have kids and you don't have anyone that understands. Because none of my friends, actually, my close friends that live near me or anything, have kids. So this should be really fun. I am excited to get to do that. And then my favorite package of the week that has come in so far was I got the Mystic Book Box special editions of the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. And when I tell you that they are beautiful, I really mean it, okay? So here's Hooked, which is obviously Peter Pan coded and inspired. Like, gorgeous, darling, gorgeous. And then, like, can you, like, and on the back of each of them, so I'm only going to show you it once, it does say who it's between, and so that's Wendy and James, obviously. Mr. James Hookity Hook. So that's the first one. Then we have Scarred, which is the Lion King inspired one. Like, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Then we have Wretched, which this is Wizard of Oz, okay? Like, these are just, I'm just in love, honestly. Like, these are just so freaking beautiful. And then we have Twisted, which is Aladdin. Like, they did such a good job with these. Like, I'm just obsessed. I'm quite literally obsessed. And then the last one is Crossed, which is Hunchback of Notre Dame inspired. Like, look at that Esmeralda girl. These are seriously so good. Now, what if you're like, okay, but wait, what about the new one that comes out, Hex, which is Little Mermaid? They did not do that one because it did not come out yet. However, I'm a little upset because I'm no longer a Mystic Book Box girly. I'll have to resubscribe because I was just not wanting the dark romance books that they were offering. This was like an add-on box. But by the time that happens, I'm going to want the last book to match. I wish they would allow, if you already own it, to like, even if you're not a Mystic buyer, to be able to get it, but I don't think that's how it is. So it's fine. But those are beautiful. I need to figure out how to display them on my shelves. I think my favorite is this one. Honestly, they're all so freaking beautiful, but I don't know. And then I went to Barnes & Noble the other day and I bought books because, you know, October and November is a very bad month for my wallet. Honestly, if we're being honest, it's a bad month because all of the books are coming out. All the books are coming out. Not even a little fair. So I got Bloodguard by C.C. Robson, and I originally was going to get it through Book of the Month, but then I wanted the end pages, and I wanted the stuff on the book, and they weren't going to have all that, and they're sold out anyway, Book of the Month. So, Bloodguard is a gladiator romantasy, apparently, and so I got it because I have heard nothing but, well, I haven't really heard anything about it. But I've heard about it for a while because it was supposed to come out in July and then it got pushed to September and then it got pushed to October. But I'm very excited to hopefully get to this month for Winterathon. Then I got Apples Dipped in Gold by Scarlett St. Clair because this came out on the 29th and I read Mountains Made of Glass this year. Absolutely loved it. I keep trying to convince Brittany to buddy read this with me before the end of the month. So if Brittany's watching this, let's do it. Let's do it, friend. Let's do it. And then some of my favorite purchases that I made was I bought both of the special editions of One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, the Barnes & Noble special editions. And so they just come with pretty sprayed edges and then these nice pretty end papers. And then there's this stuff on the cover. It's nothing like too exquisite, but honestly, these are really pretty. However, these are some heavy ass books. Like, these are chunky, but I'm very excited to have these because I loved One Dark Window. It's one of my favorite romantasies of all time, and I actually haven't finished Two Twisted Crowns yet, so I really should get to it. And what was even more exciting was the girl at the register. She was like asking me if I love these series, and I said yes. And then she was like, I don't really know a lot about fantasy romance, and I said, well, you should not start there because that book is actually kind of confusing and it's not always everybody's favorite. So of course I recommended her The Cream of the Crop, Serpent and the Wings of Night, which she had said that she was already looking into, and I was like, okay, girl, like I'm doing the Lord's work over here. Like, I'm helping you get into the romantasy world. So that is all of that. And that's the little book haul that I've acquired right now. There, like I said, are a lot of other books that were acquired over the week, but you'll see those in a later date. However, you're not here for that. You're really here to talk about Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, okay? I'm 80% in, and I kept meaning to update, but I kept not stopping reading. I'm really, really, really having a fabulous time with this. And I actually told my friend Brittany in our Voxer chat that she was supposed to read this with me in like the middle of the year, and then we both didn't get to it. And then she decided that she was just going to DNF from Blood and Ash because it's been a couple years. She's obviously not that interested in it anymore. And I kind of agree that that was the best choice for her, because this one is extremely romance heavy. And it's very repetitive. It did not need to be almost 600 pages long. It really does not. Not that much has honestly happened. However, I'm having a great time because Castile is like a book boyfriend that I love very, very much. I'm very much here for it. I'm very much here for this relationship, okay? So there's a lot of things that are going on. And let me just say, if you've read this, the joining ceremony, I'm gonna need that in my life. I need that written. I need that to happen. I need that to be a thing. So JLA, I really hope that that's coming down the pike. I'm just gonna say. I'm not gonna say more than that. But I'm just loving them. I'm just loving the banter. I'm loving their slow burn relationship. I'm eating it up. Like, she's giving me crumbs. I mean, she's just feeding me so well with this love, okay? Is this the best thing I've ever read? No. I think this is probably going to get me a 4.5 star. It might be a 5. I'm not 100% sure yet, because there was like a section that was like really dragging for me. But I'm having so much fun, okay? I'm 80% in. I have about 90 pages left. I will probably not finish this tonight, but I am about to go listen to it while I clean up before I get ready to go to bed. I would love to finish this. However, what we are going to do is I'm going to use my spinner wheel to pick the next book. And so I put a bunch of different books on there that I need to read, either because I predicted that they were going to be in the top 20, or, I mean, they all predicted them. But there are some that I obviously think are going to be there more than others, but a couple of them are series that I still have, you know, a lot to get through. So let's just spin the wheel right now while we're up and see what book I'm going to be getting to next, so that I can start requesting the audiobook and all that shabam. Okay, friends, ignore the mess on my desk and ignore the glare, but I'm honestly scared of what this is going to choose for me to read next. Here we go. Okay, that actually worked out really great. That actually worked out really beautifully, because I really wanted to read that next, and I was hoping that it would work out, and that is A Crown That's Cold and Heavy by Stacey Stark. I do think that the 4th book is going to be on Goodreads. I think it might be towards like the bottom 10 or bottom 20, but I'm still excited to get to this. I have really enjoyed books 1 and 2 in this series so far, and they've each been a 4.5 star. They've been really great popcorn reads, and so I'm expecting nothing less from this one. It is a chunker, but honestly, they fly so fast, so like I know I'm going to read this in like a day or two, because that's what I did with the other 2 books. They're just really, really good. So I am going to get to this as soon as I finish this, hopefully tonight before I go to bed, but if not, in the morning, and then we will just get started on our next book for this. All right, friends, you know what time it is. It's Conversations with... There you go. All right. I love that Lincoln knows my song. Anyway, I'm here to update because I have finished the Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I finished it this morning during my planning period. And so I figured I would give you an update before I start soon on The Crown of Gilded Bones, I think is the 3rd book. And my thoughts are, I gave it a 4.5 stars. There was just a little bit of stuff that dragged to make it be a 4.5. And I'm not entirely sure how it ended. Like, it didn't feel like it felt kind of like a cliffhanger, but kind of not. Like, I was a little confused on the ending. However, I'm just gonna say, this whole vampire and like the blood drinking and also the intimacy part and them interweaving, I'm very much here for. Let's just say it really works well for me. I just am enjoying it a lot, honestly. I love Castile. I love Poppy. I'm loving this whole relationship. The relationship is what carried me. Like, I really enjoyed this book. And I love Kieran. I just really like the characters in this book. And I'm very interested in the gods. I'm actually very excited to I have to read one more book in this series. All right, I'm going to finish this clip real quick before I go get the gas. But I have to read one more book in this series before I can move over to the series that follows the gods, like Nyktos and his relationship. And I'm very excited to get to that. So overall, this was a very good book. Really enjoyed it. I'm going to get some gas and I'm going to get home with the kids, and then I will update you in a little bit with the book that we're reading next. Hello, friends. First off, I have to show off my Crescent City pajamas. I'm very obsessed with them. I saw Emmy from Emmy Reads wearing them, and I wanted them, so I ordered them, and I'm very, very excited about them. They have all these quotes from Crescent City, and yes, I have read Crescent City 1, so I feel justified in buying these pajamas. But anyway, a lot has been going on since I've last seen you. I took a little break, did not read any of the books that I said I was going to read. I stopped and did a reread of Serpent and the Wings of Night because the book 3 is coming out soon, and I need to actually read book 2. And so I finished and I tabbed my whole life. I had the best freaking time. In my Patreon, they're actually going to get to see a little bit more in depth about my annotations for this. So if you want to join the Patreon, that's a great time to do so. We do all sorts of fun stuff, and it's friends themed. What more could you ask for? Outside of that, though, I then picked my tabbing set for 6 Scorched Roses because I am continuing on. I am going to read the novella again. I've already read it before, and I picked some cool, fun tabs to match the cover, so I feel super excited about that. However, today has been a day. Let me just tell you. So today's Monday. If you can't tell by my voice, yes, I'm sick again. Love that for me. And I have a really bad cough this time around. Like, it's really bad. It really sucks. Anyway, this morning, I go to drop the kids off at school because my husband worked before me. Or I didn't go to school today. I didn't work. And so I dropped the kids off, and I'm about to be on the way home, and my father-in-law calls, tells me that my mother-in-law was in the ER for like a blood pressure problem. So she can't, as a result, take these clothes that I was going to sell to this giant consignment shop sale in town. And the drop-off day is today, and we had an assigned scheduled time. She was supposed to go at 9:15. So I said, "Phooey, if I don't take them today, I can't sell them." So then I was like, okay, I'm going to have to drive all the way across town in like school zone traffic to get to her house, which took 40 minutes. I get the clothes, and then I have to go all the way to the other side of town, which takes another 35 minutes to get there. And so then I have to actually go in while I feel like death, mind you, and put all the clothes in their separate areas, like the 8-month area, 3-month area, like all that stuff. Okay? Then we're on the way home, and because my brain is foggy and I don't feel good, I accidentally take the North Interstate instead of South. And it made my trip go from 15 minutes to 45. And I just wanted to cry. Just wanted to cry. My husband was very nice. He went and picked up the kids for me. My worship leader had checked in on me to see if I was doing okay because I had to skip church. I was supposed to sing at church and I couldn't. And they actually made a meal for my family. Did Lincoln like it? No. But you know what? Lincoln's very picky. It's fine. It's fine. It was really good. It was a Korean beef bulgogi thing. Anyway, today's not been the greatest day. I decided that I was going to listen to an audiobook, so I did pick up A Crown This Cold and Heavy, and I got 100 pages in because, like I told you, these books really just fly. And I still can't really tell you anything about this, but I'll at least tell you about the first one. We have, in this town, they're basically, everybody has powers when they grow up. And they have to give their powers to the kings or to the gods in order to appease the gods and not have them attack their kingdom. Well, some of them it ends up not taking. And so Priska is one of them. And so if your magic ends up not leaving you and going to the gods, then you're considered like, I can't remember what they exactly call you, but a reject, and you have to be executed. So Priska has been hiding all of her life with this. Finally, she gets discovered, and she's running away, and she runs into this ragtag group of men, or mercenaries, that have their own agenda, and so they have to work together to each help each other out, and it develops into more than that. And so we're on book 3 at this point, and a lot has been going on. It left us on such a cliffhanger, and I'm very sad because something already happened to a character that I absolutely love, and I just don't understand why you have to break my heart like that. I just don't really get it, but you know, it is what it is. The plot is plotting, I guess. Yeah. It's really easy. I will say there are too many character POV switches in this for me. We have some that I don't really care about as much as others. Like, I love the Queen's perspective. I'm very much interested in her. I don't really care about Priska's best friend. If we're being honest, I don't care that much about Priska either. I mean, she's alright. And I don't know. I just feel like there's too many POVs. And it's hard to, like, keep track of all of them, especially because the narrator sounds the same for a lot of them. Because only one is a guy's POV. But it's fine. I'm going to keep on going in this, and then I will catch up with you. I did also start The Crown of Gilded Bones, but I've only read a chapter, and so I'm going to try and finish this first and then go back to that, just so we have some variation within this vlog. But anyway, I will come back to you later. You're here for Conversations with Rainy on the Road. Alright, so let's talk A Crown This Cold and Heavy, is that the name of this book? These books, like I can never remember any except for A Court That's Cruel and Lovely. Like, I mess them up all the time because honestly they're not very original, and I kind of hate books that are called A Court of This. Anyway, because I just feel like they all blend together. I'm 41% in, and I'm not loving this. Oh, you'll hear Eloise in the back. We're going grocery shopping in a minute. I took her instead of Lincoln because I went to go sell books today at this local bookstore of mine, which you will have seen some B-roll footage of that, and I will show you the books that I got when we get back home. If I get over a certain amount of money, I take store credit instead, or under a certain amount. And so I got $50 in store credit, and so I got a couple of books, and then I also got a thing of dominoes for my husband because he wanted them, and it's like a game comic like type bookstore. Anyway, so outside of that, I went to the bookstore. I got to 41% as a result. And I gave the first book 4.5 stars and the second book. I'm not really vibing with this one. And I couldn't figure out what it was because I was enjoying the plot. I was enjoying everything that happened. And then I thought about it. And I realized the reason that I loved books 1 and 2 so much is because of the relationship, the romance between Priska and Lorien. Like, I mean, I loved the whole found family of it as well, but I really loved their love. It was romantic. It felt like they were getting to know each other really well, and like the steamy scenes felt more real and connectedness because of that. However, number 3, any time that they're together, it's just smut scene. It's just smutty scene after smutty scene, and there is no romance, and there is no getting to know each other in this one, and it feels completely different than books 1 and 2 did. And so anytime that we get to where they're together and a scene is about to happen that's smutty, I almost want to skip it because I'm just like, okay, we've been here, we've done that, like, this is like the 10th time that we're having this happen, and I'm only 200 pages in. So I'm a little disheartened by that. I'm not loving my life because of it. And so I haven't been wanting to pick this one up as much because, like, I devoured the other 2. I read them in a day. This one is taking me longer because I don't like it as much. And I'm scared because I've heard not great reviews for the 4th one and that the ending is not fabulous, which makes me sad that this series will have started off so well. So I'm going to continue it, obviously, because, like, I did really like the series, and there are other things in the book that's going on that I do enjoy. Like, I do enjoy the plot. I enjoy what's happening, but I'm not very happy about the romance. And so I'm a little saddened by it because it's a romantasy. I want a good romantasy romance, but it's fine. So anyway, we're about to head to Trader Joe's and Aldi's and Publix because that is our grocery shopping route, and buy some stuff for groceries, because it's a busy day, honestly, and that book thing took way longer than it should. It took like half of my day, and I'm kind of frustrated by that. They told me it was going to take an hour to check all my books, and it took 3. And it would have taken longer, but I had my mother-in-law pretend to be me and call the store and like ask what's going on and why it's taking so long. And I'm so glad she did that because 10 minutes after she did that, they finished my books. And when they say they were busy, they were not busy. I was there for 2.5 hours just waiting for my books to get done. And the one guy was sitting behind the computer just like cackling, not checking books. Like, I'm like, were you busy or were you just not doing your job, really? And that's happened before. It's quite frustrating. But anyway, it is what it is. I got some new books. I'm excited. So I will show you them when I get home. And, yeah, I know. And hopefully I will finish this book because the vlog is supposed to go up tomorrow. And I have like 300 pages to read. But you know what? Rainy loves to live under the wire. Hello, friends. Coming to you with an update on Crown That's Cold and Heavy. And I promise I don't live in these pajamas. Actually, I don't promise that. I do live in these pajamas because I really love them. But I have washed them, if you believe that. But it's fine if you don't. I am 71% into this book, so I have about 150 pages left. I do not like this book. There have been 11 sex scenes. Every single other word that comes out of Lorien's mouth towards Priska is a sexual comment. There was one point where he said something like, "Why you seem mad this morning? I guess I didn't satisfy you enough last night." And she's like, "You satisfied me plenty." And then he purrs at her and he's like, "Rrr." He's like, "I've got to work harder next time." And then there was one point where I think she said something like, "We just don't get a lot of time together anymore." I was just like, wait a minute. You're going to tell me that you don't have a lot of time together, yet you're together all the time and it's always sex time. I'm really frustrated in this. And the only reason that this is not getting like a 2 or 2.5 stars because I enjoyed the rest of the plot and I like the side characters. So right now it's in 3-star territory. And I'm honestly very saddened by this because this is the second series in a row that has been going downhill since I started it, like a Dawn of Onyx and now this. And I really loved the first 2 books. I gave them 4.5, but this is not the same vibes. And so I'm a little sad. Like, it's literally so much lust. It's just so different than the first two books. I just don't understand. But you know what makes me feel better? Getting books. So let's do a little mini book haul of all the books that I've acquired within the last week. So there were two that I got on release day, obviously. Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. I'm very much obsessed with this series. I am so excited to get to read this and tab the heck out of it. I also picked up Hex by Emily McIntyre, even though I know, and this is the Barnes edition, that I'm not going to get to it soon because I'm trying to support her since she just, you know, is on her cancer-free journey. So I'm trying to support her. Although, fun fact about this, I went to go get these books, right? And I figured they'd be in the romance section, and I look for 10 minutes, and they're not there. I look all over the store. I come over 15 minutes later to the front and ask for them. And they said, hold on, someone will have to get them to you. They're in the back. And she comes back, and she's like, oh, yeah, like, we don't like to put the books out unless, like, we can gauge that there's interest in them. And I'm just like, it's literally release day. Like, they need to be out. And you could put, like, a few out. I don't understand. And then there were 3 other people waiting for Hexed as well at the same time as me. So I'm just like, what are you doing, Barnes & Noble? Like, I don't think that's actually how that works, but okay, whatever. Then my Aardvark Book Month Clubs came, so I got The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim, because am I in my thriller era? No, but have I really wanted to read this, and am I getting FOMO? Yes. Will I get to this soon? Hopefully. And then I also picked up American Rapture by CJ Lead because I really did enjoy Mayfly by her, and so I really want to read this. Fun fact, she came to my hometown for a signing, and I couldn't go that night. That was the only night that we could go to the pumpkin patch as a family. Once again, I'm very sad that I didn't get to meet her, but it's fine. And then my book of the month came, and I only picked up book of the month because I wanted the Reading is Sexy hat, okay? I wanted the hat. And I got Dinner for Vampires. This is why I got it, by Bethany Joy Lenz, because I'm obsessed with One Tree Hill right now. I'm rewatching it for the second time, and I want to read about how she was in a cult TV show, because it was, you know, so popular, while also being in an actual cult. I love a good cult book. And then I also picked up The Dagger and the Flame because I've been hearing some good reviews about this as of late, and I skipped it last month, but I will try it this time, although it is a chunker. Love that for me. But the actual books that I acquired today, because I sold a bunch of books, they were on my Pango. They weren't selling. I give Pango books about 2 weeks to sell. Here comes my son. Pango books about 2 weeks to sell, and if they don't sell, I put them off of Pango and I give them to my local bookstore. And so I got some store credit. And so I got some books with that. So I got A Light in the Flame by JLA because, as we know, I am reading this series right now, even in this vlog. Well, I'm reading the main series. This is the prequel series. But I'm going to be reading this soon. I also picked up Nightbane because I, for some reason, just really think I'm going to enjoy this series and want to read it really soon. And I'm just kind of obsessing over it. Like, I'm probably going to pick up Sky Shade soon. And then I've also been wanting to start Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moning because I've heard good things about this. And so I got book 1 and book 5 because they were on sale for $2. And I own book 2 somewhere. So, like, I'm collecting these slowly. This is, like, the only series that I will collect aside from Nalini Sind in mass market paperback because they're, like, old paranormal fantasy romance books. And so, like, I don't know. I'll collect them like that. Are these even, these have so many different covers, too. So it'll be kind of interesting to have, like, a hodgepodge of books. But that is my little bookity book haul. So I need to finish this book tonight because as you are watching this, this is the night that before this goes up, and this is the last book in the vlogity vlog, or it's not the last book, but it's the last book that I'm reading for this vlogity vlog. And I'm on Patreon Sprints right now with my Patreon, which we do all sorts of fun things. So if you want to have more exclusive videos and extra sprints and all the things and just hang out with me because you love me very much, then join the Patreon. Everything's underneath down below. But yeah, so I'm going to be getting to this and finishing because I need this to be over. I'm going to be taking a break before I go to book 4 because this has really saddened me quite a lot. I'll check in with you later. All right, friends. I sat here. I finished. It's a 3-star. While I was interested in how it was ending because it does love to end on cliffhangers, it was still smutty scene after smutty scene, and I'm just frustrated. So this is not the same quality book that the first and the second were. I'm really hoping that the fourth one is not like this, or I'm going to be very frustrated with this ending. But honestly, there's not more that I can really say to you about this because all the same. Although, in other news, Lincoln made me a thankfulness tree, and apparently this is a romantic tree, and when I asked him what romantic means, he said it means very fancy. So, there you go. Alright, well, I'm gonna end this clip here and see you with whatever book we finish out with. Hello, friends. I'm at school. It's been a couple days. I'm pretty sick. I'm still pretty sick. I have a really bad cough and I feel awful, but I can't take off forever, so we're here. And I'm reading a book that not necessarily should be in this video, but it works in this video if you think about the Goodreads Romantasy Awards for like 2025. And that's Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent. And if you're like, what do you mean? Well, the new Songbird in the Heart of Stone book is coming out on the 19th, which means it'll be eligible for next year, so it'll be on there. So I'll have to have read these anyway. Now, I've already read Scorched Roses before, but I'm rereading it in order to actually read Ashes in a couple days. And so I'm annotating right now. I'm actually, I'm about halfway through. I just love this book. I love it so very much. And what I'm loving so much more is the fact that I read it this time right after Serpents. And so I know all the little Easter eggs and all the things that are going on. And so I figured I would talk for a minute about what I'm talking about. So if you haven't read Serpents and you haven't read Scorched Roses, then do not listen to this next section. It's going to be a spoiler section. But if you've read both, you can keep listening. So in Serpents, there was a scene where Rain and Araya are going to meet Misha, right? After she's already been taken out of the Kajari tournament because she's been injured. And so they're visiting her at his friend Kairos and Katura's house. And they're coming downstairs, and Rain goes downstairs first after saying goodbye to Misha. And Araya comes down, and she overhears them talking. And one of them is like, can you believe Vale? Like, it's something stupid. He's like coming back to help us, and he's gotten himself married to some freaking human. And I'm just like, it's Vale and Lilith that you're talking about. Easter egg. And then in Scorched Roses, there's been two different things. They were talking about the different types of vampires, and she was like, oh, so you're Rishon. And I was like, okay, so he's just like Rain. But the big one is so far, which this definitely spoils Serpents, is where she's like, you're Rishon, and the Yaj are in power now. Does that mean there might be a change? And then she says, your people are attempting to retake the throne, and they're asking you to come back and help them lose a war, Vale snapped, all in the name of some bastard king. That bastard king is Rain, my friends. That bastard king is Rain. So, I'm really having a great time with this because I'm catching all these Easter eggs. I'm kicking my feet. I chose some really cute tabs, and this is my bookmark I'm using. So, I'm just eating, live, laugh, loving. And so, I'm going to continue to read this. Hopefully, finish this book today so I can give you an update. But it's just so sweet. If you don't know, it's like a Beauty and Beast retelling with vampires, and it's just the slowest burn and the sweetest love, and I'm just obsessed. Also, I need a special edition of this book. The fact that none of these bookish boxes are doing the special edition along with the other books is honestly a crime.